Hey, okay, so I'm on day 13 and I'm feeling a little better. I may be past the worst of the detox. I felt a little stronger on my hike. So I'm doing this daily hike out in the nature, breathing in and taking in all the wonderful energy of the plants. There's a waterfall for where I go, and then I get a nice view of Sacramento River. So it's really a sweet walk. It's only about a half hour round trip, so it's not much. Probably taking longer now because I'm slowed down, but it's great. And still pretty fuzzy in my head. And this itchiness that occurs here on my neck is, I'm attributing it to because, well, it could be a number of things, but I generally attribute it to some sort of emotional block. And the big block that I have is around my throat chakra and authentic self expression. Because when I was a baby, my father used to hit me when I was crying. Uh, at least that's what my mother would say. I actually don't remember any of it, but I've always been very afraid of really expressing myself. So I can believe it. And so I've been working through, this is probably the biggest trauma that I've had in my life. And so I've been working through this authentic self expression, and these videos are helping because I get to express myself. And even though right now I have no one probably watching these videos, it's still an opportunity for me to express who I am, what I do. I get to share who I am, share my research, share whatever it is I want to share. So it's a great tool for me. So today, I think what I'd like to do is talk about cancer, because I've been following this series. I think I've watched two videos now, and there's I think four or five more. I missed the first two videos, but it's this guy by the name of Ty Bollinger who has created a video. This is back, I think, 2015, so it's not new, but he has gone around the world, gone to different places, talked to different people, a lot of experts in the field. And, some of the information may be a little contradictory, but he also talks to uh, cancer survivors, or actually, he calls them cancer conquerors. And what's cool is that there's some really dramatic stories because, I mean, it's inspirational in a way because cancer can be conquered. Cancer doesn't have to be a death sentence. Now, unfortunately, I've had friends who have died of cancer, and I really didn't know how to help them. And I assumed that they had done their own research because they were all on the path of naturally healing. But one of the biggest problems around cancer or any, significant illness is that we tend to go to the doctor, and then they do a biopsy or they do some sort of PET scan or some way of determining whether or not you have cancer. And what happens is that you get the news and then you think, oh my God, what am I going to do? Maybe I'm going to die. So then this whole paradigm around the doctor as an authority kicks in. And whatever they recommend, we have a tendency to do. So I want you to really begin to explore your options if you or a good friend has cancer. And I know that the cancer rate has skyrocketed in this country. So I want to alert you to all the options. And I'm not going to go into a lot of detail because this series is Each video is about an hour and a half, and there are 9 videos. So there's a lot of information there. What I do want to talk about, though, is that there are places that you can go, and most of them are not in this country. I mean, you can get nutritional supplements and advice from people here in this country, but a lot of the really advanced work is happening outside this country. You know, if you go to Latvia is one of those. It's very interesting. They have found this virus called Regvir, which supposedly, as far as the information goes, is that it only attacks. It's a virus, so it attacks cancer cells and not other cells. So, and it's I guess, a naturally occurring virus. So it's not modified. It's not genetically engineered. And that has had promising results. You know, each time he goes to some place, he talks to cancer conquerors and gets their story. And so you get this sense of, well, this actually works. There's also a clinic in Mexico. I think his name is Antonio Jimenez. He's also an MD. And they do a combination of energy work, energy meaning electrical and sound. And then there's a whole bunch of energy kind of work. So, thermal, like a infrared sauna, but it needs to be near infrared. And so there's a lot of new things that are happening, but they also go into all the nutritional things that you can do. And probably the biggest thing you can do is to eat natural foods. And one of the big things that I found out today, and I didn't find out, I knew this pretty much before, but they went into things like aspartame and also sucralose. So that's NutraSweet and I think Splenda are the brand names. Those are really bad and they are carcinogens. So if you're going to sweeten something, use stevia or some other substance. And the other thing is that people do these things to lose weight, and it turns out that both of those substances actually create in your system, in your biological system, where you get hungry afterwards. When you drink your diet soda, you get hungry. So it actually promotes obesity. So don't use it. Anyway, it is now 8:20, and PM me if you want to get more information. But you can go to Google Ty Bollinger. All right. Hey, take care. I'll talk to you again tomorrow.